So welcome back. We continue with the conversation. That is the Limpopo High Court handing down a judgment in favour of the Komape family with an order compelling the provincial and national departments to provide within 90 days a detailed list of all schools in the province with pit toilets, along with plans to eradicate this. We spoke to the Department of Basic Education that says, well, it's not a new judgment really, it's been in the works and they've been working on this. We get reaction now from Dr. Faranaaz Veriava, Section 27's Head of Education Program. So this is what the Department of Basic Education says. Nothing new, they say, and yes, the court doesn't compel them to eradicate it within 6 months or 90 days, but it has been saying that it has started with the work of identifying these pit latrine toilets. My question is, from 2014 to 2021, hasn't this been too long?
It's been very long, and it has been too long. And the courts have now given 3 judgments, and we've had 3 victories where the courts have said that not eradicating pit toilets in the Limpopo province is unlawful and unconstitutional. So to just give you some of the history on this case, in 2018, the court awarded damages to the Komape family. It also said that there had to be a plan to eradicate pit toilets. Over and above this, there is in existence the regulations, the school infrastructure regulations, and in terms of that, all pit toilets should have been eradicated by 2016. So to have pit toilets as we sit here this evening, it is illegal, it is unlawful, and it is unconstitutional. The department had to provide a plan to the court following that 28 judgment, where it showed how it would eradicate pit toilets. That plan was shambolic. There was a lot of inaccurate data. We didn't know. There were schools that were very unsafe pit toilets that weren't even on the list. And the most troubling thing to the judge in the latest court case was the time frame for eradicating pit toilets, which they said would take 14 years. And the judge in this case said it was unreasonable because of the number of learners that could go through the system and because of the number of learners whose lives would be at risk going to pit toilets that were
But Dr. Veriava,
dangerous.
I do have to ask this question, though, because you had asked the court to ensure that a task team oversees this, and the court said it doesn't see the point for that right now, but it did point to the whole issue of reasonableness, saying that the respondents or defendants need to be given adequate time and money to be able to fulfill this. So the Department of Basic Education said all up until now it was a matter of not having the funds, but they're very confident that now with other social partners, including in the private sector, they'll be able to meet this condition. Are you hopeful?
Well, we know that we will be vigilant, and we know that we are speaking to different people about establishing a barometer of progress. We've had 3 victories. We don't want them to be hollow victories. And we intend to be on the back of the Department of Basic Education the whole way. If you had looked at the plans that were provided post the Komape case, there wasn't a lot of thought and care and consideration to the eradication of pit toilets. Like I said, it was just a whole lot of shambolic lists put together and presented. Apart from the allegation or just saying they didn't have budget, there was no evidence of how they had attempted to budget. And our constitutional court has said that when budgeting for when you are trying to give effect to socioeconomic rights, you can't just make a bold statement that you don't have enough budget. You have to show why you don't have enough budget.
But do you have an idea as Section 27 how much money is going to be needed? Because I know initially there was public outcry and some of the figures being put to what it would take to replace just one toilet. What figures are you working on, and is the number still the same? Back then it was put at 1,498 pit latrines that need to be replaced.
Well, there's different people saying different things and using different technologies. One of the things that Judge Miller said in the original 2018 case was that in their plan, they had to show that they had spoken to different experts, engineers, and come back with what kind of toilets they would be providing. When we went back to court, one of the things that we raised was that the amount of money that they were saying the toilets would cost was far less than what our engineers and our experts were saying that it would cost. So basically, again, it comes back to the fact of whether enough work was done, whether there was enough political commitment, whether there was enough respect for the court judgment and a commitment to implement this court judgment.
All right, thank you so much for speaking to us. Dr. Faranaaz Veriava is Section 27's Head of Education Program. So that's with regards to the latest findings by the court with regards to the Michael Komape case.